And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherard Show. I am your host, Sherard, having a wonderful, wonderful time with these beautiful individuals talking about their careers, the things they have going. And I'm learning so much on this in this segment of my show. You know, I love having guests on my show that just enrich my experience, where I can walk out and say, wow, you know, it was very memorable. I'm touched by what you're speaking about, Charles, as well as what you're speaking about, Walisa, all the things that you have going on.
I'm touched by you, Sherard, for having me on your show.
Oh,
Thank you.
It's very honorable.
And when you going to cook for us?
I'd love to. I would absolutely love to. I just made some steak last night, so I would absolutely love to. Now, we have two questions for you now. This is both of you all.
Okay, great.
Now, question number one, it says, if you had to do it all over again in your career, would you change anything? Now, let's start with you, Charles.
No. I'm getting ready to be 2 nickels.
2 nickels, 55. Yeah. No, get out of town. Black don't crack.
So let you know that's how long. Because I've been around for about 30 years.
Wow. And you wouldn't change anything?
No. I'm beginning to accept that this was the journey. This is the journey. And there's so much more to do. And I'm glad I'm getting it around now. Because I understand more things that I didn't understand years ago. So
wow.
No, I wouldn't.
And what about you, Willissa?
The answer is no, because when I was in my 20s, I envisioned what I thought I would want my life to be at the age that I am. And so I made sacrifices to have the kind of life I wanted.
Oh, excellent. Now we have another question now. Question 2, this is for both of you all again as well. Now, have you all experienced much racism in the industry since you've been there?
I mean, just in my career, have I experienced racism? I mean, you know, when I first started out, I was a writer and I wanted to be on television. But, you know, all the blonde chicks with blue eyes were getting the jobs. But I've never let me being an African American woman stop me from what I wanted to do in life. I never thought, you know, I close the door and I fuss and moan and get sad, but you know, if I was afraid of racism, I would never walk out of my door, you know. So I don't really, you know, racism is there, I know it, but
you don't never claim it.
I don't never claim it because I'm still on that grind.
Excellent. And what about you, Charles?
Racism exists. It's been existing since I was a child. When I was in college, racism existed. But I always like to go back to my Baldwin-esque things. And in his book called Nobody Knows My Name, he said, be careful what you ask for. Someone once said, because it just might come true. He said, I said I was going to be a writer. And if you want to be anything else, you can put that in this space. But I said I was going to be an actor. God, Satan, and Mississippi notwithstanding, and that color did not matter, and I was going to be free. So here I was, left only with myself to deal with.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. Now we have one more thing for
I just want to just talk about, because people, I want to just give an example. I would share this with one of my nephews. You know, when I graduated from high school, I wanted to go to Howard University as a communications major. And I'm from North Carolina, which has like umpteen thousand, you know, HBCUs. And basically my mom was like, you know, North Carolina has 13 HBCUs. Pick one. Because if you think I'm sending my daughter by herself to Washington, D.C., it's not going to happen, you know. Plus, I'm not paying out-of-state tuition. So for the longest time, I held on to, if only I had gone to Howard University, if only I had gone to Howard University. Well, fast forward 20 years later, and I'm in the room here in Hollywood with all these graduates that went to Howard University. It didn't matter that I didn't go to Howard University because I still ended up where I was supposed to be.
That is awesome. Awesome. So excellent. Now our last question is, so tell me, both of you all.
Yes.
What did you enjoy most about being on the Sherard Show today? I
love it.
I learned that you know how to make a good steak, and I would like to have steak.
You got it, Charles. You got it.
On top of that, you know what? You have a. I watched you before.
Oh, really?
You came on, yes. I did a little studying.
Appreciate it.
I watched a few little episodes. And so I was like, you know what? He's like really cool. But I learned that you were a Sam Cooke man. So that's great because a lot of times when I'm actually doing my things in the middle of a piece that I do, I won't sing it, but I'll just simply say, I was born
by the river
in a little tent. But just like the river, I've been running ever since. And I tell the people it's been a long time coming, but I know a change. What is going to come is here, is coming.
Amen. Oh, man. That's a boy. This man going to ring up to one of my favorite guests of all time on the show. I was hitting it hard. And what about you, Melissa?
Well, normally I'm always setting up interviews for my clients to go out and do and sending out media confirmation. So it's nice to get out of my pajamas and put on my lashes and come out and meet and greet with you and Charles and just having a great time. So
it seemed like you're really thoroughly enjoying yourselves, and I'm thoroughly enjoying you all as well. Really quick, we've only got about 2 minutes left. I'm gonna start with you, Walisa. Where could your Facebook fans and can potential fans be able to reach out to you?
You can find me on all platforms, Walisa Bennett. So if you know how to spell my name, W as in water, Y as in yellow, L as in lemon, L as in lemon, I as in icon, S as in Sam, A as in apple. Bennett is the easy one.
Hey, good.
You'll find me.
Excellent. And Charles, what about you?
You can find me on all platforms. Mine is really easy. It's called The Charles Reese Experience. You can do that on Facebook, you can do that on Twitter, and you can do that on Instagram.
And please watch his television show. You got to check it out. It's awesome. It's on Saturdays in BET. Again, if you're out here in California, it's 7 p.m. Pacific time, 9 Central, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. And I'm Sherard. Now, thank you all for first coming out on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Charles.
Can I end with my favorite James Baldwin quote?
Yeah. You go ahead and knock it out the park.
If you don't know my name, then you don't know your own.
Woo! And I'm Sherard. We had a wonderful time. Stay tuned for our next week episode where we're going to have the iconic, very funny man, Mr. David Allen Greer, is going to stop by the show, as well as a couple other special guests. You don't want to miss it. See us on a replay at WCOBM.tv, and then put your likes out there. I'm Sherard. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. See you next week.